App for you. Coming up for you, the stock non-wing heat races will kick our day off, and then we'll move into the junior sprint heat races, followed by ED and C mains. The outlawed non-wing division will run EDs and Cs. The A-class winged will run ED and C mains, and then the outlaw wing C features will finish off day number 2 of the 37th annual Lucas Oil Tulsa Shootout. Well, welcome in. Let's welcome Clinton, who has got the unique mic setup. Let's see if this thing's up and going. All right, cool. No
You got
feedback.
me?
We're good there. How you doing?
Sweet.
Good
I'm
morning.
doing great. How are you guys this morning?
Wide awake, man. Ready to rock and roll. Ready to rock and roll. It's what you get some sleep last night?
Yeah, we got some sleep. Left here last night and hit the old B-dubs up and got some dinner and then off to bed real quick. So nothing too crazy and ready to rip for another 12 hours today, 15 hours.
Yeah, let's do it.
If it Flow Racing After Dark action going in?
Yeah, we did. That's up on Flow. So go head over to Flow in their interview section. I did a cool thing with Jonathan Beeson last night called Talking Tulsa. And just a deal where, we make a lap around the track and chat for about 5 minutes just about, random stuff, Tulsa, Shootout, Chili Bowl, and hit a lot of really good content. So head over to Flow Racing on the app and go to the interview section and check that out. And I'll have that up on my social media here in a few hours too. You go check it out there. So got to do that. We'll have another guest on tonight, and that'll be something we spotlight every night after the races. So putting a little after-hour work in.
We
That's
like
awesome.
it. Well done. Chris Wilner, your evening into your morning, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking I'm just excited to see more of the same yesterday. I think I was really impressed with the ability for everyone under the roof of this building to kind of keep the show moving. We had some really good racing, a lot of clean action for the most part, so a lot of competitive racing too as well. I think it's only going to ramp up a little bit more. You kick off the morning with stock non-wings, one of the largest classes here at the Tulsa Shootout. A lot of hungry drivers, and we see with these non-wing cars the aggressiveness that we saw in the Outlaws we'll certainly see in this stock non-wing class. But, to kind of tie a bow on yesterday, you only had one driver go 3 for 3 in his heat races, Ashton Torkison out of the great state of Texas, I believe, or Oregon. And so, it's pretty interesting to see that. But really, Alex Bright, Torkison, Michael Facino, Tommy Koonsman, Colin White, Jonathan Beeson were the only drivers to be in the top 50 points in each of their classes yesterday. So a lot of parity throughout this Tulsa Shootout field, as we saw over 1,700 entries hit the track for hot laps yesterday, or excuse me, on Monday. So really interesting to see what today's going to bring. We saw Chili Bowl Gravel, Brad Gravel run around the track in the wee hours of the morning.
And Brad Chandler. Gravel.
Yes. Brad Chandler, Chili Bowl Gravel, his name on Twitter. Give him a follow. He kind of updates everybody on how they did the track, but it looks really good. The surface moved up as far as the wall yesterday, and certainly right now it's nice and groomed in. It's clean, it's fresh, and juiced up, ready to go.
Getting our first look at cars in the track. Stock non-wing division starting us out for the day. Clint, what are you seeing out there? Looks like they did work some moisture back in.
Yeah, I took a quick peek at the track when I got here today, and it does seem to be wet, but I don't think it's as wet as we started off yesterday, so we may see it open up a little bit earlier, excuse me, and move up the racetrack and find a second groove quick. So we'll, kind of reshape the berm is what those guys did last night. It's amazing how it changes throughout the course of a day from being, kind of ledged off and more of a 90-degree square berm to just getting really rounded and really flat where it's super friendly to race on. So it's a lot of work that these guys put in overnight, even, trying to get moisture back in the track, but reshaping the berm and making sure everything is where it needs to be.
Strange day by the end of the day. We saw A-class cars right up and on the edge of the fence. On the final heat races of the day, you don't usually see those winged A-class cars getting that high up on the racing surface, but they sure did. As our first heat race is lining up 2x2 and ready to go, and here is your lineup. It's Billy Briscoe and Stone Sharp sitting on the front row. Row number 2, it's going to be Blake Moeller and Easton Lebo. Row number 3, Austin Olstrom and Lonnie Fraley. Raleigh Shepard and Justice Sokol in row number 4. Braden Warren and Corey Lira make up row number 5. Want to invite you to interact with us on social media at Flow Racing. Hashtag tweet your flow seat is one of the ways you can do it. Both Clinton, myself, and Chris are all active on our personal Twitters as much as we possibly can be as well. So yeah, at Flow Racing, hashtag tweet your flow seat. We want to know where you're watching from, what you're doing, what you're having for breakfast, and who's watching with you. So again, at Flow Racing and hashtag tweet your Flow seat.
You boys get some breakfast in today?
We made our coffee run.
Yep.
I don't think any of us have eaten anything, but that's okay.
I've never really been an early morning breakfast guy, but I tell you what, the more that we go through the Tulsa Shootout and obviously into the Chili Bowl, that's going to have to change because these long days, they catch up to you real quick. But, yeah, coffee definitely is the fuel for me to start a day like this.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way as you. I've never been a breakfast guy, but the old Quick Trip donut down here is hitting the spot.
Ah, yes.
And I roll with a nice hot chocolate in the morning. So,
there you go.
Yeah, it gets me dialed right in.
Found out about the magic of the QT on my first trip down here. Thank you to Brian Ward. It's a life changer.
Between Quick Trip and Cane's Chicken, I think I could just be set here forever, be fat and happy.
I agree with that, and got to add in the Whataburger, too. I don't get that down in the Southeast. So
I'm going to make a lot of people really mad right now and say Whataburger is just, it's not it. It's not.
Are you an In-N-Out guy?
Oh.
I like In-N-Out.
Okay.
I think In-N-Out's probably my favorite just because I don't get it very often.
Sure.
But Steak and Shake just has a special place in my heart if you just want to go get a burger.
Okay.
Yeah, or I'll take a Five Guys over Whataburger. I'll take about anything. Maybe like McDonald's over Whataburger.
Hot takes from
those
Clint Boyles as we get started.
Yeah, fighting words here in Tulsa. Come find me in the booth. Let's rumble.
Well, so much for your Whataburger sponsorship this year.
Yeah, it
I
ain't
had
happening.
Five Guys on my car a couple years ago, so I'm glad you at least said Five Guys.
Five Guys is awesome, yeah.
We had this debate the first year that I was in the booth. Clinton, Brian, myself, and Twitter got all up in arms. I don't think we need to set the world on fire on the
Folks
internet
are still
to start
waking
the
up
day.
here.
That's right. We got race cars. Focus, guys. Race cars. Here we go. Billy Briscoe and Stone Sharp going to start our day off. A couple of drivers listing their hometowns as the Hoosier State. We're underway, and it's Sharp leading them into corner number 1. We're off and running on day number 2 of the Lucas Oil Tulsa Shootout. Nice battle back from Briscoe on the inside groove. He'll hold on to the second position. Getting chased hard by Brandon Moeller in and behind him. Moeller arcing the car out of corner number 2, looks to the high side for just a second going into the turn, but right now everybody grabbing the grip down on the bottom of the speedway and using it to their advantage. Sharp, Briscoe, Moeller, Olstrom, and Lebo, 1 through 5.
Yeah, just an opportunity now to kind of see where the racetrack's at. Being the first race of the day is awfully challenging just because you don't know what you're going to get because you had no prior knowledge of really where the racetrack is. But I think everybody's settling in, typically on the bottom here to start, kind of working in that moisture. And the track will just certainly get faster and change throughout the course of the morning. But so far, so good, as there's a decent battle here. That's the 28 of Olstrom trying to fend off Sokol. That's for 5th, as we got one car slow down the back, and that looks like, is that Austin Lebo? Yeah.
Lebo, yeah.
Lebo in the 101. Looks like something broke. He's got a flat right front.
I was going to say, he had a flat right front trying to get through there, so I wonder if that's something, contact maybe caused, trying to stick his right front in on somebody. And
Brandon Moeller, who was running 3rd, is pointing the wrong direction as well.
Yeah, and that was after the fact. He's down in turns 3 and 4, and we saw Lebo's flat start down in turn 2, so a little bit of chaos early. Look, he's almost got a flat right rear. Things wrinkled up. You definitely don't want to see that this early in the day. I can guarantee it.
Well, he's at least refired. Going to turn around and possibly head to the work area. I think he took a glance over to the crew standing along the wall, seeing if you need to pull in. But,
with a couple flat tires here, it just brings to mind for me the fact that we run bleeders in micros these days, and that's mind-blowing to me, right? Like, you don't think of air getting built up in these micros very much, especially not enough to really affect the handling of a race car, but man, these guys got it down to the fraction of a pound, and they want it to be exactly where they set it at, and that's where, the first one that comes to mind, the Swindell bleeders, right? Those are perfect.
I could see it for sure in the Winged Outlaw 55 lapper over the course of that race. I mean, you're getting a lot of track time. Those things are rolling, building a lot of heat, building a lot of pressure up in them. So that I could see. As we go back to green flag racing, aggressive move to the inside as Raleigh Shepard moving the 93 forward. Scoots ahead of Olstrom. trying to scoot ahead of Olstrom. That was Sokol that he dispatched there.
Stone Sharp taking the white flag, so just quickly here, 8 laps the distance. Led from the outside pole, off the start through 3 and 4. First heat race winner of the day, give it to Stone Sharp. Out of Frankfort, Indiana, Billy Briscoe comes home second, Austin Olstrom third, Riley Shepard fourth, and Justice Sokol your top 5.
So for those of you unfamiliar with our point scoring structure, to win the heat race is worth 100 points if you do it from the pole, and then back by 5 points per position. Sharp won from the outside of row number 1, so 105 points in the bank for him to push him towards a qualifier that's coming up deeper in the program. We will not see qualifiers until, looks like, our Friday portion of the schedule. It is a safe assumption that if you win the heat race, you make a qualifier.
But remember, you know, Clinton pointed out yesterday that the number of cars now, that cut line has changed significantly. We saw, you know, Tyler Courtney, what'd you say, Clinton? Remember, like, I think he went second to first or first to first, and he barely made
second.
Second to second, that's right.
Second to second, I think, was 90, 95 points? 90, something right in there.
I've got the chart. Give me a second. Second to second's worth 93.
Yeah, 93 points, and the cut line ended up being at like 92, so.
Green flag is out here on heat race number 2. That's Austin Saunders in the black and blue 82, and Jade Avedisian right in behind him. The black with pink numbered 14. Following them around, Cole Esgar in the 77E. He's in the 3rd position. U2 is Ryan Cotney in 4th. Got Aubrey Smith sitting in the 5th spot in the 35. Easton Ashbrook. David Conley Jr.
See Avedisian working that inside berm. She won a heat race yesterday. Kind of an up and down day on day number 1, trying to lock this stock non-wing into a qualifier to join one of the wing classes from yesterday. As able to sail it in a lot harder, but trying to get the car rotated here as Saunders is doing a great job just holding his line on the inside, not really leaving much room for Avedisian to make a move.
She sure made him think about it, though, going down into turn number 1. Showed him a front tire. Good job by Saunders. Holding strong, hitting his marks. Flew the front end on the berm, coming out of 2 a bit, cost him some drive. There's Avedisian again, making a hole where there wasn't one and up into the lead.
Oh, textbook move right there, Clinton.
Yeah, that's all you can do right here, and you can't be mad about that if you're Saunders, just because she's so much faster. She didn't really knock you out of the way, just kind of moved you. So that's about as good as it gets from Jade Avedisian right there on this final lap.
Checkered flag's going to be in the air, and the young lady racer gets the job done. Chalk one up for Clovis, California. Avedisian wins her 2nd heat race of the Tulsa Shootout.
Avedisian, Saunders, Esgar, Cotney, and Ashbrook, your top 5.
David Conley Jr., Aubrey Smith, Camden Winter, Brett Combs, and Jackson Wiggs. Did not see Wiggs on the racetrack for that event.
So impressive that someone, you know, of Jade's age knows how to set somebody up, the timing of that move, you know exactly what it takes, when to force the issue, and when to, you know, lay back and regroup. And she, man, I don't know how you could play that any more perfect than what she did right there. And I think Scotty Cook's up top this morning. How you doing up there, Scotty?
Good morning, guys. Top of the morning from the top of the ramp. This Hoosier State Stone Sharp picking up heat race number 1, buddy. I thought about you when you rolled out there on the track. A little bit of a bonus there, even though it sucks to have to get up early and run the first heat. You get a little bonus 4 or 5 lap hot lap to run the track in.
Oh, for sure, man. I'm going to say that helped a lot. We kind of got here at the last second. We didn't really expect to be rolling up so fast. We got here about, I don't know, 8:20, 8:30, so it was one of those, we got here and they said go, 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 go. So we threw some air in the tires, and I knew I had to get the start, and we did that, and just got to run my race, and it worked out pretty good.
Great job. Way to get your day started, buddy.
What?
Great job. Way to get your day started.
Thank you, man.
All right, that's Stone Sharp, guys. We'll send it back to you.
Meanwhile, our 3rd heat race of the day is already up and running. Heat race 121, and we're going to come back and get a restart. As early in the day, we have got caution lights out on the speedway, and don't know if we're going to be seeing a penalty or not. We certainly are, as somebody was naughty, jumped, and let's try it again. Original lineup was Chevy Boyer and Mason Hannigan on the front row. Now I believe Tanner Berryhill's got that top starting spot. Next to Barry Hill was Johnny Boland in row number 2, Johnny B. Row 3, Colin White and Eric Jennings. Row 4, Daryl Gates and Johnny Goolsby. Row 5, Jack Lobin and Patrick Lundy as we're green. Up and running from the outside, it is Hannigan taking the early advantage.
Some contact there in the back of the field, but that was really nice by Hannigan, the son of Randy Hannigan, familiar sprint car ace of the World of Outlaws, and really held his line there, didn't give any room on the bottom, was able to sneak the lead as we got a big-time battle back here for about 4th on back.
We've seen White make some moves over the early course of this shootout. Colin White moving forward. He's been very good on the bottom of the racetrack as well, and he is trying to roll his way up the field. You're watching Hannigan lead. Following him into the corner is Johnny B. Boland. Stalking Hannigan coming out of the corner. Hannigan continuing to hold strong at the bottom of the racetrack. Both drivers know it's not quite time to venture out of that bottom lane. As Colin White rolling in on your top 2.
Yesterday we saw Johnny B with a heroic last lap outside pass in the stock A-class wing. Not going to probably be able to do that here just with the racetrack, but trying to find a way to get around Hannigan. Hannigan doing a nice job as they approach lap traffic already here with 2 to go.
I was going to say his opening right here might be the lap traffic as he almost opens up the door on himself, but 1 lap to go right here. We may just catch lap traffic.
Oh, Hannigan widened his entrance a little bit, and both of them are going to lose the spot. Colin White drove by both. Coming to the checkered flag, opportunity knocked, and Colin White answered as he passes Boland and Hannigan on the final lap to pull the upset.
It's a little belated Christmas gift for Mr. White. How about that? I mean, that was an aggressive move we saw from Boland, but didn't pay off for him in the end, and Colin White gets the dub. So White, Boland, Jennings, and Chevy Boyer, as well as Mason Hannigan, round out the top 5. Let's go back upstairs to Scotty Cook.
Thank you, guys. One of the most beautiful things we talk often about the shootout is you get a sneak peek of the rising stars of grassroots dirt track racing. This young lady right here from the state of California is one of those rising stars. Top of the morning to you, Jade Avedisian, and you had to flex your muscle early to take the point.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the pace of the race is pretty fast early in the morning because it's super heavy, so I just try to stay with him the whole race. I got a bad start, so just try to keep pace and wait till he made a mistake. He slipped up once, tried to get underneath him, couldn't, then I waited 1 more lap and got by him because he slipped up a tiny bit, but yeah, just overall, it's just hard to pass right now, but it just takes 1 mistake out here.
All right, well, way to get your day started again, and we'll talk to you before the weekend's over, I'm sure.
Thank you.
All right, once again, remember the name, folks. She is chock full of talent, and you'll be hearing a lot more of her. Miss Jade Avedisian picking up Heat 2, guys. Sorry it was extended. Back to you.
All good, because they're stacking them deep and selling them cheap down here in Turn 3 as the start of heat race number 4 delayed just a little bit. We had an incident here, Ashton Torkison involved, as well as, I believe that's also the 16B of Brady Amos. So original lineup went as follows. Weldon Buford on the pole, the outside Sean Bloomquist, then Jason Trosper, Ashton Torkison, Jace McIntosh in the 08 inside row 3, outside Brady Amos, then Darius Myers, Nick Skias, Darren Nida, and Cashton Denton. The original lineup, but that's all going to change.
We'll try to keep you updated on point scoring as it goes on. Colin White just picked up a 120-point run on that last one, but the guru of live updates as far as scoring goes is Walkipedia. If you're not following him around Tulsa time and the rest of the year, he's full of great info as well, but check it out at Walkipedia on Twitter for your live scoring, who's where and where the cut line is for these divisions.
I don't think he's awake this morning yet.
No, he is. He tweeted
he?
6 minutes ago. He is in the infield unless somebody sent him that video. But
no, he's not in the infield. I can promise you that. He's in Indiana right now, so he'll be here Friday. He'll be here Thursday night, be here for Friday, be here
perfect.
for Saturday. But if he tweeted 6 minutes ago, then he is awake. But he hasn't responded to any of our group messages yet, so he must just be getting going.
Come on, B-Walk. Good morning to you, and good morning to everyone here tuning in on Flow as heat race number 4 is under green. Nice move to the inside of the racetrack. Weldon Buford holding the top spot for now as battles consume Around the 6th spot, Nick Skias trying to move his way up inside the top 5. That's Jace McIntosh, brother to Cannon McIntosh, running that Dave Mack car, the 08, trying to track down your leader. But a rapid pace being set early on the bottom by Buford. As we look toward mid-pack here, that's 16M of Darius Myers inside the top 5, being challenged by Nick Skias. Skias in the red and black and gray 7, kind of held up a little bit. And with the momentum now is Ashton Torkison, who started near the rear of the field in that neon green.
Chris, that 7 should be Darren Nida in that red and black 7 in, as he didn't take that spot away from Myers.
Nida, third-generation racer. You're familiar with his dad, Dane Nida, who won a ton of races with sprints on dirt. Track champion, series champion for them up there. And boy, Darren's coming along. His career is definitely progressing, and you can see flying some Town Line Variety sponsorship now from the Hills Racing team. That's going to be nothing but a boon.
Yeah, really cool for them. I've got to just watch him progress over the last couple of years out in Indiana, just running micro sprints at the same races that we run, some sprint car stuff. So Darren's come really far. He's really catching these guys for a couple more positions, but I think it's going to be too little too late.
Off of corner number 4, Buford's going to get the win. Weldon Buford from the pole. Second, Jace McIntosh, Sean Bloomquist third. Nick Skias holds off Darren Nida for 4th. Nida rounds out the top 5. Just like that, through 4 heat races here in the stock non-wing to kick off day number 2 of the 37th annual Lucas Oil Tulsa Shootout, live on Flow Racing. And Scotty Cook is back up at the top of the ramp. Scotty?
Yeah, thank you very much. This young man from the state of Pennsylvania just pulled off a heat win for the early portion of the day, and I think it took a little shake and bake, a little teamwork to get there.
Yeah, Johnny B went for it at the end there, and it worked out in my favor. These early races, it's so hard, you know, the track's so locked down, we're so equal, so it's good to have a little luck on my side for that, and he went for it, and I just got them both, and worked out.
Wonderful job. Best of luck the rest of the day.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's Grant, Pennsylvania's Colin White picking up a heat, and apparently, man, I looked up at the screen, guys. I thought there was a car upside down the fence, or was that a banner torn down? My eyes have gone to heck.
Well, it's early for you. I get it.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything upside down. Don't see everything myself. This is our 5th heat race. Drake Edwards and Trevor McIntyre make up the front row. Mark Morin and Chris Russell in row 2. Jaden Rogers and Josh Marcham in row 3. Kaylee Bryce and Brandon Rose in row 4. Steve Roberts and Grant Sexton in row 5. And you've got Bryson, Rose, Marcham, Rogers all coming from deep in this field. Let's see if they can make some moves. This track's starting to expand. Middle groove coming in. Green flag out. We're racing here on this 5th heat race of the day. Couple of 3 cars in the front row. And your early leader is Edwards. Edwards, McIntyre, Russell, Rogers, and Morin on the first lap. A couple of cars getting up into the fluffy stuff. Nothing there for them. They'll have to pull back into line. As you're watching down low, Rogers making the low groove, racing himself around the bottom and racing himself forward into 3rd. Stringing Russell out up high. Bryson gonna follow. Bryson up on the back of Rogers and threatening for position. That entrance into 1 starting to widen out just enough. Cushion pushing up a little bit on the raceway. Following Bryson, that's Brandon Rose in the 11G. As we bounce back to 6th, 7th, and 8th, Russell, Roberts, and Sexton in the running over there. That is Sexton, who's trying to work up high. Grant Sexton, you see him in a lot of lightning sprint action. Russell got a little helping going around off the bottom of turn number 2. Caution flag flies on the racetrack.
And Roberts pulled a wheelie there and just tagged the tail tank of Russell, who turns around there off of corner number 2 for the first caution of heat race number 5. Nice job for Kaylee Bryson to pick off some cars there. Jaden Rogers, he kind of had an up and down yesterday too. A lot of engine issues yesterday we saw in a lot of the wing classes and a lot of late nights for drivers, but Jaden's team had the stock motor figured out, and they had to do a lot of repair work as well to their Outlaw cars. So not the Tulsa Shootout start he wants, but let's see if Jaden former USAC Sprint Car Rookie of the Year can do here. As the green flag is back in the air. Heat race number 5.
Drake Edwards, Trevor McIntyre, Jaden Rogers, 1 through 3. Kaylee Bryce and Brandon Rose, your top 5. McIntyre being pressured by Rogers. The bottom's open off turn 2, but the caution lights are on. They're not going to be able to do anything with it. As we've got a car parked up here at the top of turn number 3. Mark Morin, your driver. He'll fire back off and join. Up top we go to Scotty Cook. Scotty.
Real quick during the caution, Weldon Buford picking up heat 4 from the pole, buddy. Great job, and tell us about that racing surface right now.
Yeah, it's pretty one lane right now. Luckily, we just started on the pole. We didn't have to get around anybody. Hopefully, it's enough points to get us into the qualifier, though.
Wonderful, great way to start your day, and we'll be talking at you the rest of the weekend.
Hope so.
All right, back down to the booth to you guys.
All right, on the restart. You still see everybody glued to the bottom of the racetrack. White flag, 1 time to go. Drake Edwards started on the pole and finishes this one out. Last corner, last lap, and at the very end, Rogers ends up picking up second from McIntyre. So it's Edwards, Rogers, McIntyre, Bryson, and Rose, your top 5 to finish that off. Quickly through 5 heat races here in the morning session. Glad to have you tuned in on Flow Racing as you see them rapidly moving down the ramp and onto the track. Let's get you your lineup for heat race number 6. Riker Pace sits on the pole. Next to Riker, it's Heath Henley. Second row, Rachel Zabawa and Ashton Torkison. Row number 3, Brant Twitty and Kyle Thompson. Coda Aller and Mike Walling make up row 4. Cole Vanderheiden and Eddie Hamblin in row number 5. Good representation from around the country. Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Texas, Oregon, California, Texas, Nebraska, and Arizona. All out here in this field. As just like that, lights go out. And the green flag flies as drivers hard on the throttle pedal getting into turn number 1. From the bottom of the racetrack, Riker Pace has the early advantage. Henley got that car down racetrack fast, settled in. However, it's all for naught. We're going to have to try it again. 2 cars up in the wall. Chavez, one of them. And Twitty, the other.
Yeah, Twitty's got some damage on that thing. Looks like the spindle or hub or something's broke there. Shock's knocked off the axle maybe. And Scotty Cook, you got someone up top for us.
Yes, sir. Drake Edwards from the land of the rising sun doing a great job kicking your day off. Talk about the racetrack, and it's very locked down and narrow early on. How you dealt with that. You did what you had to do.
Yeah, we had an early heat race yesterday, so, I mean, it kind of helped us set us up a little bit for today, getting the setup right and everything. So, yeah, it was good. Definitely a confidence booster compared to yesterday, getting a heat race win like that. So.
All right, man. Best of luck going forward the rest of the weekend.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, guys. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Scotty Cook. Don't forget, you can tweet your seat where you're watching live on Flow as we kick off day number 2 with Lucas Oil Tulsa Shootout. We saw KPR racing, watching on their home TV.
Marion Kenny, good morning.
Tyler from Indiana checking out the action as well on Flow. Nothing like coffee and race cars. Start your day.
Well, long, lonely walk back to the pit area for Twitty. As his car broken, going on the hook and coming off racetrack. Not only going on the hook, it's going in the bucket.
Yeah, nothing worse than the hook's bad, the bucket's worse.
Not technically a bucket. I think it's got forks under it at this point in time. But
right.
Close enough. As they couldn't pick the car. And so off you go the bad, bad way. No laps complete here in our 6th heat race of the day. This is the stock non-wing division, so no motor work, no cockpit adjustments. Our biggest class as far as entries go at this year's 37th annual Lucas Oil Tulsa Shootout. And we're down to 9 cars.
Good shot of Terry Maddox, one of the hardest working people in the building, chief flagman for many, many years here at the Tulsa Shootout as well as the Chili Bowl. We'll see if his patience are tested today as green flags in the air and quickly contact from the front row.
Keith Henley got up and over the back of Riker Pace, and that sent him back 3 or 4 positions. Early leader is Pace. Following him is Torkison.
Torkison, remember, went 3 heat race wins, trying to go 4 for 4 in all 4 open classes as the caution light waves once again as Rachel Zabawa.
Henley had recovered back up to 3rd, so the up and over didn't cost him as bad as I had thought it did. Zabawa was running 4th. Will go back to the field. They are showing a lap complete. We'll have 7 laps remaining.
Had one of my dad's friends, my friends, Garrett. Well, Garrett Holsey's dad. We've seen Garrett Holsey down here in years past racing.
Has helped us out in the broadcast.
Yeah,
even.
he tweeted in hometown Johnny Ray's little drive-in burger joint there in Lee Summit, where I'm from, and it's I think every hometown
Everybody's
has
got
one
to
of
have
those places, right?
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
Johnny Ray's is really cool. They have a once a week, I believe, or maybe once a month drive-up car show, and so that's yeah, cool to see everyone chiming in. A lot of Whataburger hate on here, so
oops,
it's that's how it goes.
We
I
gotta-
stick by what I said.
We have a
That's all right.
place-
Yeah, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. It's okay. Hey, we do want to give a shout out though. Rob Klepper tweeting us here from back at home, and he said just in case that we need any help on the Tulsa Shootout broadcast, his boys, the Klepper Bros, got you covered when Kyle Busch hits the track. Big Kyle Busch fans tweeted a video of them cheering on Kyle at the Daytona 500 earlier this year. So
That
pretty
is
awesome.
super
Thanks, Rob, for
cool.
tuning in, man. Hope you're enjoying the coverage here live on Flow as we're back to green.
Well, Riker Pace continues to set the pace ahead of Torkison and Henley. 2nd and 3rd. That is Ashton Torkison. Both of the Torkison boys having a good shootout so far. Pace with a couple of car lengths between himself and Ashton. Coming in on the halfway point of this heat race. And Pace bobbles out of 2. Runs it down under the apron. Comes off the berm, and he's gonna get a reprieve caution flag out on the racetrack. As Walling, who was running in the 4th spot, comes to a stop, and you can see front arm hanging off that car.
Yeah, that's the left front shock hanging off of it. And judging by the mud in his rear bumper, I'm guessing we had a flip here. Safety crew taking all the precautions they need to make sure, check on the driver. Again, you know, the safety crews inside here and the track workers all are, they see a thumbs up, which is a good sign. All trained, all know exactly what to do in all these instances. So a couple of thumbs up from our safety workers there, just taking our time here with Walling.
Walling hyper chassis, as you can see down the side.
Two-time Lone Star 600 Micro Series champion in 2017 and 19.
Climbs out, takes a quick survey of the damage. As you get a look over into the corner where it all went down.
And that's the thing, you know, when you talk dirt track racing, especially open wheel, whether it's micros, sprint cars, midgets, when these things dig into the clay, I mean, it all ends in a hurry. As we see, the forklift is out, so another one.
For the 2nd time already.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go to the Joe's Racing Products replay. We're going to get a look at the tail end of the crash. Not going to see all of it from what we understand.
Oh, yeah, cartwheel.
There it is. There's that front shock with the coil on it busting off.
Oh.
New parts for everybody.
Looks like he's got some FKs on there, so he'll be making a trip over to see Mike Schur at the SBS shock trailer.
Let's go back down. And Brian Ward, good morning to you. What do you see down from the infield?
Good morning, guys. I don't know how close of a shot you can get, but this car is going to need a complete front clip rebuilt. The down tube down near the front right above the axle is completely snapped, and there's significant damage to the front end. So this car will not be ready to go in the next day or two unless they've got someone close that can do some quick work getting this car reclipped.
Well, that's
fortunate enough, right? There's plenty of people around town here that can do that. I talked to Carter Batterby yesterday. He took the big wreck early in the day yesterday. They took that frame out and had it fixed during the day, got back 3 races late from what was on the board, jumped in it as they were rolling it in the building, drove down the ramp, raced it, and I believe he won that next heat race that he was in. So, yeah.
The stories like that are what make the Tulsa Shootout. The thrashing, the ability to get these cars fixed, but to have a frame fixed and still race.
There's so much going on, right? And we know Ryan Tibbs crashed on practice day. Billy Lawhead, those guys had to straighten the frame here in the pit area. Luckily, they had everything they needed to do there. But there's there's so many backstories going on back there that just it's impossible to cover them all unless you're here just walking around checking everything out all week.
There's no shortage of guys, fabricators here in the area. I mean, we've talked for years about how strong the Oklahoma micro scene is, and part of that is, Factor One and Sawyer are locally built cars, but you have all of the best fabricators in the country on micro sprints in this building right now. Show up to one of them with, some cash and, hey, you got a welder, and you might get your race car fixed.
Yeah, it's amazing, how much of that goes on throughout the year. And being out on the All-Star Tour, we saw, some of that. Those guys are prepared to fix anything they need to out on the road, right? So everybody has a welder. Everybody has, tubing benders, or kind of whatever they need to straighten it or put a new front clip in a car. So it's, it's really cool to see and amazing, how fast you can change some stuff on these race cars and get them ready to race.
Riker Pace leads the field. Ashton Torkison looking to get around him. He had a shot when Pace made a mistake on the last restart. We're halfway home. 4 in, 4 to go. Torkison still taking a look, trying to figure out his way around. Keith Henley is in the 3rd position.
Henley trying to apply that pressure there, just couldn't quite get to the back end of Torkison. Not going to have too many more trips around this Expo Raceway to make a move. Torkison trying to line up what should be a late race run here if you can get to the back end of your race leader Riker Pace, but we're coming around to take the white flag.
I think Pace made that one mistake and locked it back down as he has hit his marks perfectly. Ever since then, he'll take it into the final set of corners and he will take the checkered flag. Riker Pace gets the win. Torkison has to settle for 2nd. Henley 3rd. Thompson 4th. And Cole Vanderheiden in the 5th position. Coda Aller, Eddie Hamlin, Rachel Zabawa, Mike Walling, Brandon Twitty.
Guys, we've talked about a few shout-outs we got this morning. I just got the most unique one of them all, I think.
Okay.
Kelsey Gray, who we've seen race here in years past. She's out of gas on her way to the expo. Sitting on the side of the road, waiting on someone to save her, watching Flo.
Do we know what road she's on? We could send out an alert.
Somebody called AAA.
Okay, so you had a surgeon yesterday with hip replacement parts, and now we have somebody stranded on the side of the road.
Chase Balf, Brendan Wisely make up the front row of this one. Cody Barnes, Quentin Benson, Taylor Whitefield, Darren Cole, Landon Ellis, Cheyenne Potter, Cody Dons, and Xavier Doney will make up the field for this heat race. Seriously, nobody's called AAA for her?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, this is going to sound horrible. That's her problem. She says she's got it figured out. So, no, I'm sure.
Nick